My mandatory position, I deserve a shot. I'm 23-0 with 21 knockouts.
Link right below to the full interview.
I'm 3-0 with 3 knockouts on Showtime Network. You know, there's not many fighters who have, there's really no fighter who has the KO ratio that I have in the welterweight division. I am a threat for any welterweight in the top 10, including Floyd Money Mayweather.
I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live, and Kieth Thurman, 23-0 with 21 knockouts, is going to be taking on a fighter that you have not heard of, Leonard Bundu, 30-0 with 11 KOs. And guess what? They're going to be fighting for an IBF title shot. Kell Brook is the current 147-pound IBF Welterweight Champion. Kieth Thurman is the #1 contender for Floyd Mayweather's WBA 147-pound Super World Belt. So,
and 5. Okay, it's really nice. Let's flip that around. Who has fought Kieth Thurman? Nobody. I'm willing to fight you. Are you willing to fight me? Let's go. Y'all, I'm not ready for Floyd. Okay, who do you all want to see me fight? Timothy? What up, Timothy? Let's go. Tell your manager, promoter guy, Aaron, tell your boss you want Kieth Thurman. You know what I'm saying? Amir. Let's go. That other fight's on hold. I know you like to sit on the bench. You sat on the bench to get Mayweather. It didn't work for you. Let's go, Amir. You know what I'm saying? I'll fight anybody in the welterweight division. I have a motto and I live by it. I'm not afraid to let it go. If you can beat me, beat me. Broner, he needs to move back up. I don't know if he feels like playing hot.
see, you got to respect fighters like Kieth Thurman, but at the same time, you have to say, okay, well, you're managed, advised by Al Haymon. Al Haymon advises all the guys that you want to fight outside of who you just called out, Timothy Bradley. Now, when you get the same advisor, I'm thinking Al Haymon's a very powerful man. He can make the fight happen. Why won't he make the fight happen? Can't you see the plan? Now, you have Kieth Thurman. Well, you got Amir Khan set up to be the 147-pound welterweight champion by fighting Floyd Mayweather and beating him, or being that when Floyd Mayweather retires and fighting somebody in a fight for the vacant belt. You got Kieth Thurman, who's the #1 contender for Mayweather's WBA title that formerly used to belong to Marcos McDonough. You had that fight that could have potentially happened, but it's not happening no time soon. You have now Kieth Thurman fighting Leonard Bundu, once again 30-0 with 11 knockouts, for a shot at the IBF 147-pound title held by Kell Brook. Who is Leonard Bundu? You don't know these fighters I'm about to name. Frankie Gavin, he's now 19-1 with 12 KOs, if I'm correct. He's got 2 fights coming up. He was a big UK prospect. Lee Purdy, somewhat of a veteran, if I'm correct over there. I've seen him fight. Devin Alexander fought Lee Purdy. So, if you get what I'm saying, Leonard Bundu is a quality opponent. As far as, okay, well, you're fighting to get the #1 contender belt. So, I'm guessing that's setting him up for a shot with Kell Brook later on down the line, if he's still champion. But then you ask yourself, like, okay, all right, this is a meaningful fight as far as what he wants to do, but he wants to fight the big names to become a big name, and this is not a big name. Amir Khan is a big name. Devin Alexander is a big name. Robert Guerrero is a big name. Matthysse is a big name, but I guess they want to keep it still at 140. There's a plethora of 147-pounders. So if you said, like, okay, well, what about Jose Zito Lopez? I say this. I'd rather him go try to get that #1 contender for that Kell Brook title, because remember, if you don't know, these boxing organizations, they've been making the mandatories happen. So it's not like a situation where, the only person basically getting away with it is Floyd Mayweather. Even Vladimir Klitschko is fighting all these mandatories. People say fighting a bunch of bums, but no, those are guys that he has to fight. The WBC is making their mandatories. It's only a matter of time before they say, all right, listen, Floyd, you're not going to fight Pacquiao, then it's got to be Khan. That's going to be in May. It's either Pacquiao or it's going to be Khan. We know that already. So you say, well, why not Kieth Thurman and Amir Khan and they fight for the right to fight Floyd? Because you know why? Because thank you, Al Haymon, thank you so much, man. But don't you understand about some of this stuff? What don't you understand about like this guy saving his fighters for something? I'm not saying that he don't want to put on big fights later on, but as it is right now, he's saving his fighters for something. So Kieth Thurman, you know, is due a title shot, don't you think? Kieth Thurman is due a title shot. You know, like how long is he going to wait? You know, he had the bullshit injury. Yes, he's coming. He's going to be fighting twice this year. But still, he should have fought 3 times this year. But you know why? Because there's not enough welterweights that they can find. You know, if it's not a big fight for him next, they're probably going to call Yoshihiro Kamagai up. Or, you know, call up somebody nobody never heard of. And I'm not taking nothing away from Bundu. I've seen him fight 1 fight. That's the Frankie Gavin fight. You know, the Lee Purdy fight, you know, I was in and out on it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and watch both fights. And I'm going to come back with another video. And I'm going to watch about 5-6 of his fights. Come back with another video in about the next week or so, maybe 2 weeks. You know, then we're going to talk about strategy because, you know, he's a boxer and he's been a distance multiple times. So I'm thinking to myself, like, well, wait a minute, this guy can fight. You know, what if he outboxes Kieth Thurman? And that's why you got to educate yourself on these foreign fighters, yo, because people forget, especially Americans, that boxing is a global sport. Boxing is global. So people are going to say, like, who the fuck is Leonard Bundu? Why is he fighting and not fighting this person and that person and that person? You're going to ask those questions. But what if this Bundu guy comes in and beats him? The legend of Kieth Thurman is over. But guess what? He's got the he ain't afraid for it to go. You got to respect that. You're like, yeah, I'm undefeated, but I'd rather fight the big fights. Like, if you can beat me, beat me. Robert Guerrero don't want to fight him. You know why Robert Guerrero don't want to fight him? Because Robert Guerrero don't want to be a stepping stone. Marcos Maidana threatened to retire. Not fully retire, but he said, I'm not fighting no Kieth Thurman. Give me Mayweather or nothing. You're going to try to feed me Kieth Thurman. You know, who else they try to feed Kieth Thurman? You know, like Kieth Thurman is a prospect. Al Haymon is in touch with social media and the fans. He knows. Why am I? Yo, it's only 8 p.m. and I'm tired as shit. That's kind of a good thing, I guess. I'm like, damn, it's like midnight. I'm like, why am I so tired? But Al Haymon is in touch with fans as far as he knows Kieth Thurman is a hot ticket. You know, Kieth Thurman has the mouthpiece. You know, he can work the mic. He has the style. You know, he's got the charisma behind him. He's got it behind him. And I'm thinking like, okay, Al, like when are you going to unleash him? When are you going to let him off the leash? Let Thurman off the leash, man. Put Thurman in there. Like, listen, well, like he said, and shout out to Kugan Cassie's interview. I put the link right below. Who wants to fight Kieth Thurman? Now, I know there are guys that want to fight him. And if you know, or if you don't know, Kieth Thurman is a big welterweight, but a small junior middleweight as far as 154 pounder. So he can fight up there, yeah, but what's the point? You know? Like, so you could say, well, put him in there with Lara and all that. That's what Robert Guerrero, they asked Robert Guerrero about Kieth Thurman at the end of the Yoshihiro Kamagai fight. And Guerrero was like, what? Yeah, what? Kieth Thurman? No, what did he say? Keith Urban. He tried to play him. Keith Urban, you know, like the country singer. And he's like, oh, yeah, Kieth Thurman. Oh, tell him to go fight Lara. He just told him, like, fuck it, go fight Lara. He get out my face. But I can understand Robert Guerrero. I can understand why. You know, I can understand it. As far as the business aspect, I can understand it. But then again, I also say, why did you fight Yoshihiro Kamagai then? The ghost? The ghost with the most? Anyway, I'm tripping. I'm going to take a nap. Get back up. Do some paperwork. Play some video games. I cover every single major fight live, and I'm not joking either. And it's only going to get worse for you. I'm talking about for the competition, but you know, it's friendly competition. But as far as this level is concerned, I'm going to cover every single major fight live. This is what I'm doing now. I'm trying to cover every single championship fight. So every time the IBF cruiserweight title is defended, every time the WBO cruiserweight title, or the WBC featherweight bantam, well, no, the featherweight, no, the strawweight, like I don't think I want to go that low, though. That's a lot of fights to cover. But when it comes to the major ones, after every single major fight live and uncut, I'm here. All my videos are live and uncut. All my videos are also right below website Real Combat Media and my like page, 24-hour boxing news, constantly active. Also, Real Combat Media, the link right below. We're doing a boxing poll for Hopkins versus Kovalev. I would really appreciate if you click the link. All you gotta do is click it, open up in another tab. So while I'm still talking, you can be over there like working the poll. You know, like do the poll. That's all I'm asking. T Street Controversy Live.